Weeks 4 to 6 are similar to the previous 3 weeks, however I've changed the core exercise session to 40 seconds of exercise with a 1 minute rest, and the arms and legs to reps of 10 per exercise. This is to build up muscle mass. If you kept on the same weights and reps, then you would not continue to build muscle mass, and muscle hypertrophy would not occur. Therefore, I will increase all weights by 0.5 kilograms. I've kept the same routine, as its routine can be important to build momentum, and once you're used to the exercises, building certain muscles up. I've also changed the continuous cardiovascular session to 25 minutes at 70 to 80% intensity, and the interval session to 15 seconds jogging instead of 10. This is to continue cardiac hypertrophy and continue improving the cardiac muscles, as it should always be challenging and there should always be an overload. This is what the program looks like. If I were to do this program again, I would change the number of sessions in the second part to 4 a week, as they have got used to this amount of exercise and are starting to build up muscle and build up cardiovascular fitness nicely. They aren't too busy, so there aren't too many barriers to the exercise. So that's why I would increase the number of sessions to increase progress. For my second client, I also completed a PAR-Q. From this I learned that they were a 45-year-old male who's 6'1" and weighs 13 stone 6. They also have a resting heart rate of 64. At the moment they are not ready to exercise, as they are awaiting a knee operation. Once this is completed and allows sufficient recovery, they will be able to complete the program. Before they got this injury, they led a fairly healthy and active lifestyle, but have not done regular exercise in a while, for several months, due to this particular injury. As a result, activity levels at the moment are very low. I learnt this from Lifestyle Questionnaire and the PAR-Q. There are several barriers for my client to completing this program. Firstly, they are in full-time work, and secondly, they have lots of family commitments, as they have 2 young kids. As a result of this, the only time they are free to exercise is Monday and Wednesday evenings and at the weekends. With this in mind, I've chosen 3 sessions a week, 1 on the Monday, 1 on the Wednesday, and 1 on the Saturday. The Monday and Wednesday will be evenings, obviously, and the weekend will be a morning one, in order to change and so tedium isn't an issue. 3 sessions a week also allows for sufficient progress and also sufficient recovery in between sessions. They wouldn't be able to complete any more sessions a week due to their busy lifestyle. However, their job is active, so any more sessions a week could become fatiguing. My client's targets are to improve cardiovascular fitness. I will be testing this using the Cooper Run, in which they already have a base score of 2,100 metres in 12 minutes. This is a fairly high score already, so I'll start the program at a higher level, but bear in mind the fact they haven't done exercise for a while due to their injury. Their other targets to complete regular exercise, which will occur if they complete the program. My first session is a swimming session. I've chosen swimming because they said they enjoy swimming and have done it several times before, therefore they're experienced. I also chose this as they will have only recently completed their surgery and will be back ready to exercise, so it's important they don't rush into exercise and they don't rush into impact exercise such as running, as this may delay their recovery, as their knee is not at its strongest still. In this session, my client will swim for 10 minutes continuously, then a 1 minute gap, and then swim for another 10 minutes. My client should be working at 70 to 80% intensity, according to Karvanen's principle. As a warm-up, they should walk briskly down the length of the pool twice, as this will warm up the muscles This is warm the muscles and get blood pumping to the working muscles. They should then complete some stretches as there is more effect on the flexibility. As a cool down, complete 2 links at a very slow pace, followed by static stretches and PNF stretches, as these aid recovery ready for the next session. This is a continuous session as it improves and trains the aerobic system. Tuesday is a rest day, however, I would like my client to complete exercises that increase the flexibility of the knee in order to help with the recovery of their knee injury from surgery. The first one is to lie flat on the table and pull your knee so there is a bend in your leg. Repeat this 10 to 20 times. The second one is a quadricep stretch, hold for 15 seconds and repeat 4 times. And do the same for hamstring stretch and a calf stretch. These should all help with the flexibility of the leg and the knee. Wednesday is a cycling session. As a warm-up, they should complete a steady pace for 5 minutes. Then get off the bike and do PNF stretches that focus on your legs and get the legs ready for exercise. I've designed this as a continuous session working at 70 to 80% intensity. I've chosen the bike this time to avoid tedium, and continuous exercise would train the aerobic system, which is one of the targets. Thursday involves just resting and general stretches for the body in order to aid recovery and prepare the body for sessions coming up. Friday is also a rest day with stretches, however involves exercises to strengthen and mobilise the knee. For example, they should complete the anterior and posterior glide, rotational glides and patellofemoral glide. The final session of the week is on Saturday and is another swimming session. However, this will be an interval session as the other 2 are continuous, and if I were to do another continuous session this may become repetitive and boring. For an interval swimming session I will get them to do the same warm-up as before in order to ready the body, and then and including stretches. They then have to swim 50 metres as fast as they can, and then swim slowly back, and repeat this 5 times before resting. Rest for 2 minutes, and then repeat 3 times overall with 2-minute breaks in between each set. Once it's finished, complete a very slow length of the pull, and then finish with static and PNF stretching in order to aid recovery. I'll get my client to repeat this routine of the programme for 3 weeks. Routine can be important as it can build stability and also install good habits and help build momentum. In week 4 I've decided to introduce running sessions as the knee continues to recover. It is also an important part of the recovery process and will help them prepare for the Cooper Run test at the end. I will not test my client 3 weeks in as with client 1, as they will not be ready and will not have done any running or impact exercise since the operation, and the test I'm using is the Cooper Run test. For week 4 I've put a running session on the Monday. This will be a continuous session in order to train the cardiovascular system. However, it will be a fairly short session as this is the first session involving impact on the knee. In this session they will do a 5-minute warm-up of light jogging, followed by 3 minutes of dynamic stretching and PNF stretching of the legs. Once the body is fully warmed up, they will do 10 minutes of running working at 70 to 80% intensity, and then cool down doing 30 seconds of very gentle jogging and stretches. The next session, complete stretches the same as before, same as the previous 3 weeks for Tuesday, and then the next session is on Wednesday. It will be a cycling session, and this will be an interval session as the other 2 are still continuous. Use the same warm-up as before, and then the main session will involve sprinting for 15 seconds, slow cycle for 40 and then a slow cycle for 45 seconds. This is quite difficult and challenging, and as it still should be an overload, and my client will still be fairly fit from their previous fitness before the injury. On Friday, complete the same mobilisation and strengthening exercises for the knee, and then Saturday will be a continuous session, and this will be the same session from week 1. However, I will do 2 lots of 12 minutes instead, as their cardio should have improved from the first 3 weeks, and there still needs to be an overload, and it needs to keep getting harder in order for the cardiovascular system to keep improving. If it stayed the same, then the cardiovascular system would not continue to improve, as it wouldn't be challenged. And finally, on week 6, we'll repeat for week 5, but 4 and 5 are the same, but week 6 involves 2 running sessions on Monday and Saturday. Both will be continuous sessions in order to prepare for the Cooper Run test, which is at the end of the 6-week programme. This will build on from the last 2 weeks, providing the knee is healing okay. Therefore, I will get them to do a 25-minute continuous running, working at 70 to 80% intensity, in order to help prepare. On Wednesday is another interval. In between is Wednesday, and this will be another interval cycling session, which is similar to before. However, I will reduce the recovery time to further improve the aerobic fitness. The intervals will be 15-second sprint and a 30-second slow cycle, which will be the recovery time. On Tuesday, continue with the flexibility exercises the same as before, and on Friday do strengthening and mobilisation of the knee exercises the same as before, as this will help with recovery and strengthening of the knee. The other 2 rest days complete other general stretches needed in order to aid recovery. Finally, if I were to do this programme again, I would have a taster session with the client to gauge where they were at with the knee regularly, so I can decide when to start doing impact activities such as running, as the sooner these are started, the more prepared they will be for the Cooper Run test at the end of the programme. Thank you for watching.